This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this first story is an update to a story that I covered several days ago. As many viewers of the channel will know, I go to all of the crime scenes that I can do in the West Midlands, mainly focusing on the Birmingham area, but this murder occurred in Wolverhampton and I attended the scene on Monday the 29th of May on Tettenhall Road, and it was all closed off and there was a lot of police forensics and several detectives. And this is the reason why sometimes stories take a little bit longer to put together, because we don't just rush. We're not just putting out news for the sake of it. We're trying to follow stories. We're trying to support the families. And we also donate to a lot of different foundations in the city to try to make things better, because it's not just about talking about it. It's about being proactive. In relation to the update on the Wolverhampton murder, the victim has been identified as Deeley-Price. He was discovered with fatal head injuries on the 29th of May. A murder investigation was launched and police arrested Carl Ellitts in connection with the death on Wednesday. He has now been charged with the murder. He is 25 years old and of no fixed address. He has also been charged with 3 unrelated robbery matters, 3 counts of rape and 2 offences of assault. And I thought this story, due to the fact of how many charges and also a murder, that this has got very little attention. 3 counts of rape, and they say they're unrelated matters. So this means that it's a different victim or potentially multiple victims, which will, of course, be revealed in court. But until then, it's very vague. He has been remanded at Wolverhampton Magistrates Court on the 3rd of June to prison until trial. In a statement, the family of 48-year-old Mr. Price said, "Roy's life was not without trouble. However, he did not deserve what happened to him. He will sadly be missed by everybody who loved him, whose hearts will never heal. He was incredibly proud of his 2 children and only ever wished the best for everybody." 4 other people were also arrested, but have since been released on bail pending inquiry. So I want to send my condolences to the friends and family of Roy, and I'll definitely follow the trial of this story and update you as always at the end of it. In some other news coming from Birmingham, a man who pretended to be a taxi driver and committed rape and sexual assault has been jailed to 22 years in prison. He will serve a minimum of 17 years before parole. He kidnapped and assaulted 2 young women when he posed as a taxi driver in Birmingham. This was during lockdown in 2021. Fasawar Iqbal, of no fixed abode from Birmingham, was sentenced at Birmingham Crown Court on the 26th of May 2023 for the offences that occurred between December 2021 and July 2022. The 41-year-old picked up his first victim in Birmingham city centre in the early hours of the morning. On the 19th of December 2021, he offered her a lift home. Iqbal drove the woman from Digbeth to an unknown location, and he was consuming drugs while he was driving and also drinking alcohol. He made sexual advances towards the woman before stopping at a house where he tried to get more drugs. He attempted to take the woman inside, but she managed to escape and hide, and he was later arrested, but he was bailed. And while he was on bail, he attacked another woman on the 10th of July 2022. He picked the woman up on Birchfield Road while pretending to be a taxi driver and offered her a lift home. She initially refused, but Iqbal continued to follow the woman and persuaded her that he was a taxi driver and he would get her home safely. Iqbal took the woman to a local pub car park where he sexually assaulted her. He then offered to drop her home and asked for a number. Instead, the woman agreed to have Iqbal's number, which she later gave to the police, and he was subsequently arrested and charged. Iqbal was found guilty on the 18th of January this year for several offences that included kidnap with intent to cause a sexual offence, sexual assault and also rape. He was sentenced to 22 years, and the detective in charge of the case, Sania Ram, from the Public Protection Unit said, "Iqbal is a predatory sexual offender. Although an opportunist, he was persistent and this was planned. He posed as a taxi driver to gain the trust of these women, and then he took them to locations that were remote and sexually abused them." So this story is a massive reminder of the dangers, and also when you're under the influence of alcohol after you've been out on a night out, to make sure that your friends get into a correct taxi or get a lift home, or you stay with them as well, because these are the risks that sometimes pose, sadly, to mainly women that are walking home from nights out. I look forward to hearing what the viewers have to say on that story.